So in your email, you sent me that you had some questions about number three, but I think, like what you said, that you understood that one lap around, because circumference is basically a lap around a circle. One lap around a circle is 2 pi r. That's the circumference. If you have to make four of those, it would be 2 pi r plus 2 pi r, which is 4 pi r, plus another 2 pi r, which would be 6, and then another, which would be 8. When you're doing that, you're only adding the twos, because pi is the same every time. And that pi times the radius would be the same every time. So you would only add the constant, or the coefficient. So it would just be like 2x plus 2x plus 2x plus 2x. For something like number four, you have the setup right. This 30 centimeters equals 2 pi r. And you know that you need to find the radius, and 30 centimeters is the circumference. I wouldn't include the centimeters here. Usually, when you're dealing with something like this, where there's not a rate, where it's not like miles per hour, I wouldn't involve that, so that you should just have this 30 equals 2 pi r. And I think what your confusion is when you see this symbol, you think of it as a variable as well. And so you're thinking this has multiple variables in it, but it only has one, and that's the unknown, which is the radius. Pi is 3.14, or that's the approximation we use for pi. So it just stays as pi in this question. So you would have 30 equals 2 pi r, and you got to get r by itself, which means you have to divide by 2 pi. So that's what you have here, which I assume you got from the answer key. So 30 divided by 2 is 15. You can't do anything with the pi, so this should be 15 over pi. All right. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. But again, I think your biggest confusion was because there were so many letters in this, you were seeing this cm as possibly a variable or some unknown quantity, and you were definitely seeing this pi as an unknown, but pi is not an unknown. It's just a symbol that we use to represent a number that we know, but because it's an irrational number, it doesn't have a decimal, like it doesn't have an ending decimal point. So we just have to either approximate it, or we use pi to try to keep it as an exact solution. All right, so hopefully that helps out a little bit.